Compared to Rumi, many may not know the work of the astounding Persian poet who goes by the pen name of Hafiz or Hafiz. Hafiz was born in Iran in the year 1325, 53 years after Rumi had passed on. And while I had long considered Rumi to be unsurpassed, I came to accept Hafiz as even greater, even as I realize that there is no real value in making or even considering such useless comparisons. Hafiz's poetry, as you will immediately and joyfully see, played on the same ecstatic and non-dual themes as that of Rumi, and was just as deep and uplifting. And yet, be that as it is, I find Hafiz's work to be much more incisive and lighthearted. Hafiz, like Rumi, is all about love and spirituality, and he urges us to cultivate a nearness to our own souls and to increasingly accept and experience our own rightful reality. And even more so than Rumi, Hafiz would often place an enchanting and humorous spin on much of what he wrote. I am delighted to share these liberating verses with you and hope you get as much out of them as I do every time I visit him. Most of these were translated by Daniel Ladinsky. And just an interesting insight before beginning, I once had a student by the name of Hafiza, which is the female equivalent of Hafiz. Now, please open up, settle in, and enjoy the temporary bliss these verses will surely arouse. The image of Hafiz will only change at the very end. Okay, this first one, which is highly characteristic of much of Hafiz's work, is entitled, "It Cuts the Plow Reins." It will be followed by another entitled, "How Does It Feel to Be a Heart?" What does illumination do? It cuts the plow reins. It frees you from working and dining in the mud. It frees you from living behind a big ox that is always breaking wind. What can illumination do, oh dear? It can lift your heart on a rising, bucking sun that makes the soul hunger to reach the roof of creation. It offers what the wise crave, the priceless treasure of freedom. Pure divine love is no meek priest or tight banker. It will smash all of your windows and only then throw in the holy gifts. It will allow you to befriend life, light, and sanity, and not even mind waking up to another day. It reveals the excitement of the present and the beauty of precision. It confers vitality and a sublime clarity until finally all the heart can do is burst open with great love and laughter. O illumination, O dear truth and friend within me, why didn't you tell me sooner you could do all this? Cut the reins of illusion so we can all just go wild, loving God and everyone all day. And now, how does it feel to be a heart? Once a young woman asked me, how does it feel to be a man? And I replied, my dear, I'm not so sure. Then she said, well, aren't you a man? And this time I replied, I view gender as a beautiful animal that people often take for a walk on a leash and might enter in some odd contest to try to win strange prizes. My dear, a better question for Hafiz would have been, How does it feel to be a heart? For all I know is love, and I find my heart infinite and everywhere. HAFIZ, like Rumi, refers to God as the friend. More broadly, this suggests that God is nearest and dearest to all authentic seekers of truth and should be considered as father, mother, sister, brother, and indeed any and every relationship that we human beings can have. This next one, entitled A Divine Invitation, again brings a little humor to this party. You have been invited to meet the friend. No one can resist a divine invitation. That narrows down all our choices to just two. We can come to God dressed for dancing, or be carried on a stretcher to God's ward. And now, three brief, untitled, captivating, and spiritually reinforcing verses. Even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, "You owe me." Look what happens with a love like that. It lights up the whole sky. Ever since happiness heard your name, it has been running through the streets trying to find you. And the third one, I wish I could show you when you are lonely or in darkness, the astonishing light of your own being. As you have already heard, HAFIZ sometimes referred to himself in the third person. And this is the case in this next verse, which carries the title, I have learned so much. I have learned so much from God that I can no longer call myself a Christian, a Hindu, a Muslim, a Buddhist, a Jew. The truth has shared so much of itself with me that I can no longer call myself a man, a woman, an angel, or even pure soul. Love has befriended HAFIZ so completely, it has turned to ash and freed me of every concept and image my mind has ever known. The two that follow again display HAFIZ's wonderful humor. The first is entitled For a While, and the second, Zero. We have all come to the right place. We all sit in God's classroom. Now, the only thing left for us to do, my dear, is to stop throwing spitballs for a while. And now zero, which is a brief, deep, and clever quip that scoffs at the very idea of duality, distinction, multiplicity, and anything being separate from anything else. It's quite brief. Zero is where the real fun starts. There's too much counting everywhere else. HAFIZ refers to himself as a third-party comforter in this next poem. It is so powerful, insightful, and compassionate, so friendly and down to earth, and also so humorous and wise that I can't wait to begin reading it into Hyman's microphone. Its title, I Know the Way You Can Get. I know the way you can get when you have not had a drink of love. Your face hardens, your sweet muscles cramp. Children become concerned about a strange look that appears in your eyes, which even begins to worry your own mirror and nose. Squirrels and birds sense your sadness and call an important conference in a tall tree. They decide which secret code to chant to help your mind and soul. Even angels fear that brand of madness that arrays itself against the world and throws sharp stones and spears into the innocent and into oneself. Oh, I know the way you can get. If you have not been out drinking love, you might rip apart every sentence your friends and teachers say, looking for hidden clauses. You might weigh every word on a scale like a dead fish. You might pull out a ruler to measure from every angle in your darkness the beautiful dimensions of a heart you once trusted. I know the way you can get if you had not had a drink of love's hands. That is why all the great ones speak of the vital need to keep remembering God. So you will come to know and see him as being so playful and wanting, just wanting to help. That is why HAFIZ says, bring your cup near me, for I am a sweet old vagabond with an infinite leaking barrel of light and laughter and truth that the beloved has tied to my back. Dear one, indeed, please bring your heart near me, for all I care about is quenching your thirst for freedom. All a sane man can ever care about is giving love. What a fascinating rendering that goes straight to the heart of all manner of matters. Here now is one about letting go of useless conventions. It is entitled, Stop Being So Religious. What do sad people have in common? It seems they all have built a shrine to the past, and often they go there and do a strange wail and worship. What is the beginning of happiness? It is to stop being so religious like that. This final verse will yet again take us to the pinnacle of what both Rumi and HAFIZ have brought us. It is about the underlying unity of all embodied souls, and one that I once used to end the Sunday talk at the Vedanta Temple in Santa Barbara. Its title, There is a Wonderful Game. There is a game we should play, and it goes like this. We hold hands and look into each other's eyes and scan each other's face. Then I say, now tell me a difference you see between us. And you might respond, HAFIZ, your nose is 10 times bigger than mine. Then I would say, yes, my dear, almost 10 times. But let's keep playing. Let's go deeper. Go deeper. For if we do, our spirits will embrace and interweave. Our union will be so glorious that even God will be unable to tell us apart. There is a wonderful game we should play with everyone, and it goes like this. Well, I sincerely hope you enjoyed these and that you experienced some measure of their naturally uplifting effects. If you listen again and accept HAFIZ's invitations, your wisdom will double. If you listen 3 times, it will triple. I read and I listened at least 9 times, and maybe 18. Thanks for listening. See you next time.